guys, how you all doing? I hope that you had a good day today. I had a little bit of an eventful day. My prepaid electricity meter box decided to no longer connect to the main box, so I was without power for 90% of the day, running around like a headless chicken trying to sort it out. And gratefully, it all came right at about 3 o'clock today. So I am now still able to record sessions and upload them for you guys and still do our morning stretch sessions. So I was very heart sore at one point when I realized that I wasn't going to be able to interact with you guys. So I'm very happy that that is not the case. However, I did not exactly plan anything for today's session because I was focused on trying to get things up and running again. So I'm just going to go back to a default of a lovely full body workout, and we can just incorporate some arms into the session as well to apply the things that we learned in yesterday's video. Okay, so let's get down on the mat. Let's lay down on our backs, having our feet relatively close to the sit bones, and we have our feet and knees at roughly fist distance apart. We are in our neutral pelvis, so pubic bone and hip bones are parallel to the floor, and the rib cage is nice and laced. Arms are down by the sides of the body. We're going to incorporate the arms into our pelvic curls. Okay, so we inhale to prepare. Exhale, scoop the navel, tuck the pelvis. Ground down through those feet as we start peeling the spine off of the mat gently. Feel the heels drawing in towards those sit bones. Now, inhale, reach long through the fingers to connect under the armpits and start taking the arms up and overhead for me. Now, as the arms reach the ceiling, this is where you should feel that hinging movement. So those shoulder blades are now wrapping around the side of the rib cage. You only take the arms as far down as you could yesterday, keeping ribs laced into that mat. We now exhale to roll the body down through the spine, one vertebra at a time. So once you're in this position, you should be able to have that neutral pelvis and the ribs laced into the mat with where the arms are. If you find you're arching your back, you've taken your arms too close to the floor for your level of flexibility at the moment. So just keep that in mind for the next one. Let's inhale to bring the arms back down to the sides of the body. All right, and let's go again. We exhale, we scoop the navel, we tuck the pelvis. We now start peeling the spine off of the mat, one vertebra at a time. Keep drawing the heels in towards those sit bones so the legs are firing beautifully. We now inhale, lengthen out of those fingers. Keep the shoulders low and out of the ears as we take the arms up and overhead. Find the height of the arms that are correct for you, and then we exhale to roll down through the spine, back onto the mat. So we are challenging our balance a little bit. Inhale to bring the arms back down, because the arms are no longer on the floor, which means less contact with the floor, which is less stability. All right, so let's go again. We exhale to scoop, tuck, and lift. So right now we have that support from the arms on the mat. So this is where the core needs to engage a little bit more to keep the body still and steady as we inhale to take the arms up and overhead, shoulders low, shoulder blades wrapping around the rib cage. And then we exhale, rolling down through the spine, gently, one vertebra at a time, ribs laced into that mat. Inhale, bringing the arms back down to the sides of the body. All right, let's go for two more. We inhale. And we exhale to scoop the navel, tuck the pelvis. Good. Can you just take a little peek down the body? Make sure that your hips are still at the same height as each other. And then we inhale, reach long through the fingers. Shoulders are low. We're not bracing, so we're not pulling the shoulders down as hard as we can, but we're making sure they stay connected and out of the ears. And now we exhale to roll down through the spine, one vertebra at a time. Inhale, bringing arms back down to the sides of the body. All right, let's go for one more. Inhaling. Exhale, scooping, tucking, peeling the spine off of the mat gently. Heels drawing in, rib cage laced. Feel those glutes firing. Now inhale, reach the arms long, connect under those armpits. We're trying to draw a beautiful line along the wall and the ceiling. Shoulders staying low. Good. And exhale, roll down through the spine. Returning to neutral. And inhale to bring the arms down for me. All right, so let's now put the feet and knees together. We're just going to challenge our balance again by keeping our arms up at shoulder height. So let's take them to shoulder height. Now they're not going to move. While we do our lower body rotation, make sure the hands stay in line with those shoulders. There's no counterbalancing with the arms to be able to increase our range of motion. Stability versus range of motion. That should become my motto. All right, so let's have the feet and knees together. Neutral pelvis, ribs laced, arms up to the ceiling, but connecting lightly under those armpits. Fingers stay long. Inhale. Exhale, initiate the movement from the right hip as we lift over to the left. Your right foot should already be off of the floor. Ankle bones and knee bones staying connected. We only rotate as far as we can, keeping that upper body stable. Fingertips, elbows, shoulders, ribs. Hold for that inhale. Exhale, pull that navel in as we bring our legs and pelvis back to center. All right, we're going to go over to the opposite side. So let's exhale. Initiate the movement with the left hip. Weight on the outside of the right foot. Left foot off of the floor. The knees are staying matched in height. Going as far as you can, keeping ribs laced and keeping those hands in front of those shoulders. Inhaling, exhale, pull the navel in to bring everything back to center. And let's go over to the left. Ribs laced. Exhale, right hip lifts. Weight on the outside of the left foot. Right foot lifted off the mat. Knees stay in alignment. Rib cage laced, shoulders low, hands in front of shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, pull the navel in and bring everything back to center. Let's go one more over to the right hand side for me. So we exhale, lifting that left hip off the floor, left foot off the floor, edge of the right foot on the mat. Let's see if that coordination worked when I was swapping between left and right previously in my vocalizations. And exhale, bring the navel in to pull everything back to center. Beautiful. All right, let's keep the feet and knees together. Interlace fingers, place them at the base of your skull for me. All right, so in this position, neutral pelvis, ribs laced, elbows in peripheral vision, pulling those fingers apart. We inhale. Exhale to nod the chin to the chest. Keep a gap between the chin and the chest. Use those ribs to now lift that upper body off of the mat. Head still resting in the hands. Hold for the inhale. And we exhale to reverse the movement down, keeping those ribs laced. Now remember to make sure the legs stay nice and relaxed for me. We don't want those hips clenching. We inhale. Exhale, nod the chin. Pull those fingers apart for me. Keep the gap between the chin and the chest. We're pulling those ribs down into the mat. Use that exhale. Good. Make sure the pelvis is still in neutral and relax those legs. Inhale. And we now exhale to reverse the movement down, lowering one vertebra at a time. Good. Let's go again. We inhale. Exhale, nod the chin to the chest. Elbows in peripheral. your head, resting in those hands. Good. Inhale. And we exhale to lower down. Push the head into the hands to open up the back of that neck a little bit, but still keep the gap between the chin and the chest. We've got one more. We inhale. We exhale to nod the chin to the chest. Shoulders are nice and low. Ribs are doing the work now. Now hold this position. If your neck is feeling all right, lengthen the arms. If not, keep the hands behind the head. All right, so inhale, lengthening the arms to the side of the body. If the hands are still behind the head, just copy the upper body movement with the hands set. All right, we inhale to prepare. We exhale to reach the left hand towards that left ankle, but we keep the pelvis steady, so we can keep an eye on that pelvis. We inhale to come back to center. We now exhale to flex to the right hand side. Watch that pelvis, make sure it stays steady. We've got a little bit of an assistive here. We can squeeze those inner thighs to help keep everything nice and steady. Inhale to come back to center. We exhale to reach to the left. Squeeze those inner thighs a little bit more. Good. Inhale to center. And we exhale to the right. We're isolating the movement from the middle spine up into a flexion motion. Inhale back to center. One more each way. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center, shoulders low. Exhale to the right. Come, inhale back to center, hands behind the head, and we exhale to lower everything back down to the floor. And now we lengthen the arms, we lengthen the legs, and we arch it all out for me. All right, let's roll over onto our left-hand side for me for some sideline work. Just grabbing my pillow. Okay, so let's have that bottom leg bent at roughly 90 degrees, so we've got that extra support underneath us. Our hips and shoulders are in a straight line. If you can, have your left arm in line with the shoulders, but if that causes you to arch your back, then rather bring the arms slightly forward of your midline. Okay, our hips are stacked. We're reaching long out of that hip bone, but now we're going to incorporate some arm work. So it's going to be a little bit of a coordinational moment. Okay, so top leg in line with the body. We're lengthening out of the hip. The ribs are laced. Bring your right arm out in front of you at shoulder height. Now, as we lift our top leg, we're going to lift our right arm to a T shape. Okay. Now remember that lengthening feeling out of the hip, because now we're not using the hand to get that feedback, so make sure. All right, arm long. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lifting the leg up and taking the arm towards the ceiling. And then we inhale to bring everything back to their start position. All right, and let's go again. We exhale to lift the right leg, lengthening out of that hip. Lifting the right arm, connecting underneath the armpit, and inhale to bring everything back to its start position. So arm in line with shoulder, leg in line with hip. And let's go again. We exhale for 3, lifting leg and arm. Beautiful. And inhale to lower back down to your start position. And let's go for number 4. Connect underneath your armpit. Feel like you're lengthening out of your pinky towards the ceiling. We're lengthening out of our toes towards the wall. And we inhale back to our start position. And let's go for one more. We exhale to take it all up. Beautiful. Now we're going to keep the arm up as we bring the leg back down to hip height. We just hover our leg there. So we're getting the leg work by maintaining that position. Still lengthen long out of that hip. We inhale. We exhale. Face the palm of the hand down towards the foot. Keep the palm facing forward. We exhale to lift the arm higher up and towards our ear. Good, so we're making a nice straight line from the toe through to the fingers. And we inhale to lift the arm back to shoulder height, fingers pointing at the ceiling. Now I want you to focus on your actual shoulder. As you exhale to take the arm up and overhead, feel the connection under the armpit and reach long and through the pinky. That way we keep the shoulder out of the ear. And we only bring the arm as close to the head as we can, keeping elbows straight and shoulder out of the ear. And we inhale to lift the arm back up. All right. And we exhale for 2. Connect under that armpit. Reach long and out of that pinky. Up and overhead with that arm. Beautiful. Pause there. Now, lift that leg back up as we bring the arm back to shoulder height, still lengthening out of that hip bone. And we now lower the leg back to hip height, and we bring that arm back up towards our ear. And we exhale, lifting the leg and bringing the arm back to shoulder height, still lengthening out of the hips, still laced in the ribs. And we inhale to lower the arm towards the ear and bring that leg back to hip height. And last one, exhale, lifting that leg and arm. Keep the arm there. Inhale to lower the leg down towards the mat and lower the arm down towards the body. Okay, let's swap over to the other side for me. So something a little bit different. I'm just trying to incorporate some of the arm work that we did in the last session into today's session while we work on other parts of the body at the same time. Okay, so we have bottom leg bent at roughly 90 degrees. We have our hips and shoulders in line with each other, right arm long. Top leg at hip height. Ribs laced, and we have our left arm at shoulder height in front of our bodies. We inhale to prepare. We exhale to lift the leg and the arm together, reaching low and through the pinky to open the arm. I have less flexibility in this arm. I'm feeling a stretch from the tip of my middle finger down my whole arm. And we inhale to bring the leg back to hip height, and the arm back to in front of our body at shoulder height. And we exhale, lifting leg and arm again for me. We're still lengthening up that hip bone, so we haven't sunk into the mat. And we inhale to lower back to our start position. Exhale, reach long through the top leg. And reach long through the pinky of the hand. And those ribs are still laced. And we inhale to bring them back to their start position. And we exhale to lengthen and lift again. Good. And inhale to lower. Check those hips. Make sure we're lengthening out of the hip. Make sure those ribs are laced. Shoulders connected under the armpit. And we exhale to lift the leg and arm again for me. Now, keeping the arm there, drop the leg back to hip height. We're still reaching long and out of that hip. We now keep the palm facing forward as we exhale. Connect under the armpit, reach long through the pinky, taking the arm up and overhead as far as you can, keeping elbows straight and shoulder low. All right, so you can see I'm limited on this side in comparison to the other. I can't quite make that straight line from toe to fingers. And we inhale to just lift the arm back to its T position. We exhale to bring the arm towards the head, shoulder low, ribs still laced, still lengthening out of that top hip. And there we go. I have a little extra space now because the body is warmed up into the stretch. Inhale to bring that arm back to shoulder height, but the arm is shaking. All right, let's now include that leg. We exhale to lift the leg and take the arm up and overhead. So imagine there's a rope attached to your foot. And as you take the arm overhead, it's lifting that leg. And we inhale to bring the leg back to hip height and arm back to the shoulder height. And we go again, still lengthening out of that hip joint as we lift that leg and and take the arm overhead. Good. And inhale to bring the arm back up and leg to hip height. And last one. We exhale, we lengthen, we lift, shoulder low, pinky long. And we inhale to bring it all back up. All right, and then we lower the leg down and we bring the arm down to the side of the body. I hope that was all right for you guys, something a little bit different. Okay, all right, let's roll onto those bellies. Let's get some lovely back extension work. Okay, so let us jump straight, into our Superman. So let's have the arms long and overhead, but have them a little bit wider than we usually do. So have them, your hands sort of peeping over the corners of your mat, and your legs are a little bit wider than roughly fist distance apart. Okay, nose and forehead in line with the mat. Keeping the arms where they are, I want you to exhale to just lift the outline gently, and just gently lifting that upper body off the mat ever so slightly. So we're not going into a full back extension, we're just maintaining this position. So I want those abdominals still pulling in, pubic bone gently in the mat, and our upper body slightly lifted. So we can feel those back muscles are engaged. Now we inhale to prepare. Body stays still. Exhale, lengthen and lift the right leg and left arm only. So it's just that shoulder joint and hip joint that are moving. And we inhale to lower them down. We exhale to lift the left arm and right leg. We still stay connected underneath the shoulder. And we reach long with a straight leg. That glute will fire. And we inhale to lower down. And we go again. We exhale to lengthen right arm and left leg. That lengthening out will engage the arm and leg muscles in such a way that it helps you actually lift them off of the floor. And we lower down. So it's not just a sense of lifting straight up to the ceiling that we're looking for. It's lengthening away from the body and lifting up to that ceiling. Abdominals are working so that the torso and pelvis are staying steady. No rocking from side to side. Let's go for one more. We exhale, we lengthen and lift the arm and the leg. And we inhale to lower down. And then we lower the upper body down. We place the hands on the mat on either side of us, bend those knees, and push back into your rest position. Arms long. Push into the mat gently with the hands to push your sit bones even closer towards your feet, or even further in towards the feet, depending on your flexibility. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We walk the hands towards us as we lift that upper body. And voila, we are done, guys. I hope that was okay for you. Sort of an on-the-spot designed session. Really on-the-spot designed. So I hope it was all right for you guys. And I'm just so happy that I can still be connected and give you guys some workouts. And still do our Zoom live stretch session. That was the one thing I was more disappointed in not being able to do, because there was still a chance for me to be able to record videos and post them via my neighbor, connect onto their Wi-Fi, and plug my laptop in to charge, brain. But I don't know if I would have been able to have done the live Zoom session. So I'm super glad that this is all working out. And this is actually the second time I'm recording this. I actually started recording the session earlier, but during the session, 3 exercises in, I heard the kettle start boiling, and I was like, no. And I was like, okay guys, hold on a second, and I went to go check it out, and I was like, let me just rather redo this video, because in the beginning of the previous one, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, I'm sorry guys, blah, blah, blah. But gratefully and thankfully, things came right. So I hope you guys had a good public holiday. And I shall see you guys in the morning for stretching and or tomorrow for another video. Bye.